right here on College Street in Asheville, North Carolina.
Right,
I'm chilling with this dude.
What's his name?
Fred.
You guys know who that is. Okay. And he's, I just asked him what do you want to talk about, and he has something that he has some comments on. I'm sorry, you have a name?
Paul.
Paul, Art.
Yeah.
So, Paul, what was that interesting subject matter you just mentioned?
The legalities of marijuana.
Should it or should it not be legal? And his opinion is that it should.
100%, man.
It was a real horror show, blood splattered walls and stuff. I got 4 stitches in the front of my head and 5 staples in the back. And when I started catching hammer blows to the head, then he started trying to take me out in the knees and stuff like that. It was just like I say, it was a real horror show. Eventually, after I was brutally beaten with a hammer for about 30 minutes, I broke out of the bedroom window and escaped. And I was pleading for my life and all, but I could tell that there was to be no witness left alive to this thing. And I was thinking, oh my God, how many people might this guy have murdered or what, Mm-hmm. And so the police picked him up just a couple of doors down the street, covered in my blood. But while I was in the hospital getting stitched up and stuff, he turned me in for marijuana and got his charges reduced to misdemeanor assault, and so he walked on a misdemeanor, and I've just been convicted of 3 felony charges of marijuana, and they took all of my life savings out of my safe, and that's gone, and they're still trying to get thousands and thousands of dollars for me in federal taxes by garnishing my wages and stuff. I'm on probation and have to give them $85 a month.
What I'm trying to do, try to get interviews on, controversial subjects. Like
interviews on controversial
subjects? Yeah,
subjects?
I just talked to a young man, and he said that marijuana should be legal.
Marijuana should be legal?
That's what he told me. What do you think about that?
Don't turn this into an episode of your show.
Why do you think it should be legal? I mean, alcohol's safer, ain't it?
Hell no. Shit. People go out, get drunk. Some father comes home drunk as a skunk, beats his wife, abuses his kids. How many potheads do you know that get in fights? I mean, honestly, man. I mean, maybe if all the world leaders would get together with some good Turkish grown hash, smoke a hookah together, we wouldn't be in Iraq. We wouldn't be having this problem that we have with North Korea and their nukes, because they'd be too stoned to build them, man. I mean, shit. Artists constantly creating, stoned out of their gourds, making music like this stuff here. Painting, sculpting.
Well, Paul, isn't that like a gateway thing? Isn't there a problem that if we just legalized it, that people would start doing all kinds of other stuff too? And
well, marijuana.
Legalize all of it or just marijuana? What do you think?
Man, coke kills your brain, kills your heart. It's damaging. There's a lot of nutrients in pot, man. Hemp seeds.
If you eat it though, right? You gotta eat
well, yeah.
The nutrients, don't you?
Yeah, put in some tea, man. It's easy. I can give you the recipe for peanut butter. Put a couple buds in a pan and fry it with some butter, man. You got it right there. Put in brownies. But man, yeah, it's a gateway. I agree it's a gateway. It's a gateway to another reality, man, a whole new level. I mean, it's easier to talk with God when you're stoned, man.
Tell me with the victim, and over some marijuana.
They came in and definitely prosecuted the victim, and they prosecuted the heck out of the victim in this case, and continue to do so. There's a lot more to the story, but you asked for the brief version.
Yeah, I mean, they had him dead to rights. You obviously had assaulted you and everything. And they prioritized the marijuana.
Do you have like a TV show or something?
I do.
But you can totally use this.
I appreciate that.
Isn't that nice? I mean, do I have a name? Yes, I'm the star of Veronica Mars. Maybe you've seen that show? Kristen Bell? Yeah, I look a little weird without the makeup. I get really, in the off season, it's all carbs. I get so puffy, but In 2 weeks, I'll start training. I'll look really good for when the season premieres. I'll be fine. So.
Tell me if you're buzzed right now.
I wish. I've been sober for 3 months, man.
Is that a bummer?
Yeah, I gotta pass a drug test to get a job, man. I mean, I gotta have the job to supply.
You can drink and get a job, but you can't smoke and get a job, right?
Yeah, I know, man. What I do at home, I'm not gonna go into my work stone because I want to do a good job and make the money so I can support my habit, you know? So, what's the big deal? What I do in my time is my business. I have a right to privacy.
It's safer to drive on weed than it is on alcohol.
Easy, man. When I'm drunk, I get dizzy and swerve all over the place. When I'm high, I'm focused. It's a straight road, yeah.
So what is this all about? Why did they bother to make it illegal to begin with then?
I don't know, man. I know that, I think it was in the 1800s, the Turkish king or whatever he was, came to America in New York City and threw a huge pot party, man. I'm talking about like political figures, government leaders of America was out on the streets smoking in New York City.
Imagine that.
Man, if we had that again, we wouldn't have to worry about going to New York and getting mugged, you know? I mean, it would be a lot easier way to live. I really think so.
All right, this is some good stuff here.